Imagine this. You finally get everything you've wanted. The promotion. The money. The body. The recognition. The dream life you've spent years chasing. For a moment, it feels incredible. Then something strange happens. Nothing. The excitement fades. The satisfaction disappears. And a question begins to emerge. Now what? Most people spend their lives believing success is the destination. But some of the most successful people in history have quietly discovered something unsettling. Success doesn't solve the problem. Sometimes, it creates a new one. Today we're exploring one of the most important psychological and philosophical mysteries of modern life. The paradox of success. And why getting everything you want may never give you what you're actually looking for. Part 1, The Lie We All Believe. From childhood, we're taught a simple formula. Achievement equals happiness. Get the grades. Get the degree. Get the job. Get the house. Get the money. Then you'll be happy. The entire structure of modern society is built on this assumption. But if this formula were true, why are so many successful people miserable? Why do elite athletes suffer depression after winning championships? Why do celebrities struggle with addiction despite having everything? Why do entrepreneurs sell companies for millions and immediately start chasing the next thing? The answer lies in a psychological phenomenon known as hedonic adaptation. Your brain is designed to normalize success. The extraordinary eventually becomes ordinary. The dream becomes the baseline. What once felt impossible becomes expected. And suddenly the mountain you spent years climbing no longer feels like a mountain. It feels like the ground beneath your feet. Part 2, The Curse of the Summit. Imagine climbing Mount Everest. Every step is difficult. Every moment has purpose. Every action is directed toward reaching the summit. But what happens when you arrive? There is nowhere left to climb. Many people discover that the pursuit was giving their life meaning, not the achievement itself. This is why achievement can feel strangely empty. Because goals provide direction. But direction and meaning are not the same thing. The philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer observed something remarkable. Human life swings like a pendulum. Between desire and boredom. When we don't have what we want, we suffer. When we get what we want, we become bored. Then we search for something else. The cycle repeats endlessly. Think about your own life. How many things did you once desperately want that you barely think about today? Part 3, The Men Who Warned Us. Perhaps no philosopher understood this better than Friedrich Nietzsche. Nietzsche believed most people chase goals without understanding why they are chasing them. They inherit ambitions from society, from parents, from culture, from comparison. But borrowed goals create borrowed lives. And eventually, success feels hollow because the achievement was never truly yours. Years later, psychiatrist Viktor Frankl reached a similar conclusion. After surviving Nazi concentration camps, Frankl observed that human beings do not primarily seek pleasure. They seek meaning. This insight changed psychology forever. Because meaning and success are not the same thing. You can have meaning without success. But you can also have success without meaning. And that's where the paradox begins. Part 4, The Shadow of Ambition. Now let's go deeper. According to Carl Jung, every human being possesses a shadow. The hidden parts of ourselves we refuse to confront. Sometimes ambition isn't really ambition. Sometimes it's compensation. A desperate attempt to prove something. To silence insecurity. To earn validation. To become worthy. The danger is that success can amplify the very insecurity it was supposed to eliminate. Because external achievements cannot solve internal conflicts. If you believe you're not enough today, More money won't fix it. More status won't fix it. More followers won't fix it. The mind simply moves the goalpost. Again. And again. And again. This is why some of the most accomplished people on earth remain deeply dissatisfied. The problem was never the goal. The problem was the psychological wound hiding behind it. Part 5. The real solution. The mistake most people make is believing the problem is that they want too much. But that's not the problem. Human beings are supposed to strive. We're supposed to build, create, explore, push beyond ourselves. The real problem is attaching our identity to the outcome. Think about a musician. If their goal is to become famous, they will eventually suffer. Because fame can disappear. If their goal is to master music, the journey never ends. The same applies to every meaningful pursuit. The ancient Stoics understood this thousands of years ago. They divided life into two categories. What you control. And what you don't. Effort belongs to you. Results do not. The tragedy of modern life is that most people spend years trying to control outcomes they were never meant to control. Recognition. Status. Validation. Other people's opinions. And because those things are unstable, their happiness becomes unstable too. The paradox isn't that success fails. The paradox is that success was never supposed to carry the weight we put on it. We ask achievement to give us meaning. Identity. Self-worth. Purpose. But achievement was never designed to provide those things. Conclusion. There is a story about a man who spends his entire life climbing a mountain. For decades he sacrifices comfort, relationships, sleep, everything. Because he believes something extraordinary awaits him at the summit. Finally, after years of struggle, he reaches the top. And there is nothing there. No revelation. No final answer. No permanent happiness. Just another horizon. Another mountain in the distance. At first, this sounds depressing. But it's actually liberating. Because the point was never the summit. The point was who the climb transformed him into. This is what philosophers from Nietzsche to Frankl tried to teach us. A meaningful life is not built by arriving. It is built by becoming. The modern world teaches us to ask, what do I want? But perhaps the better question is, who am I becoming through the pursuit of it? Because eventually every goal is reached. Every trophy gathers dust. Every achievement becomes yesterday's news. But the character you build in the process remains. And maybe that's why the most fulfilled people aren't the ones who finally got everything they wanted. They're the ones who discovered that life was never about getting. It was about becoming. And once you understand that, the paradox disappears. Success stops being a destination and becomes a path.